This is Veteran State of Mind podcast. We're just going to continue the conversation we're having. We'll talk about the other stuff later. Vinny, please go on. So Vinny's been. So we're in the studio, right? We've got Vincent Rocco Vargas, and we've got Scott. Huesing. Scott Huesing is back in here. We're doing back to back. Scott's got his feet on a big pile of dumbbells. I'm not kidding you.
That's the only workout I'm going to get.
It's the most manly posture I've ever seen. Vinny, you just saying we were just talking about like how when you get out of the military you're a civilian.
Yeah. That's something I've been writing a lot now, and I'm actually just kind of breaking down more of the thought process of it. But you know, we live in this world where, you know, the veteran community, obviously we're completely engulfed in it. Us, you know what I mean? Us guys right now who are putting ourselves out there through either books or entertainment or social media. And the biggest thing, and I've done it for years, right? I've done it for so many years, and I'm done, right? I'm done putting myself into the mold that everyone expects a veteran to be, and accepting the fact that once we get out of the military, you are now a civilian, and that's part of that transition phase of accepting that you are a civilian. You can call yourself a title as a veteran if that's what you want, but like when you do that, I believe you give yourself the whole umbrella of everything that comes with that, and with that, I think, comes a lot of excuses why it's hard to transition.
Yeah.
I think accepting the fact that you're now a civilian, you got to start over. That's a hard thing to think of. Like, oh, fuck.
Well, you could have gone, when you went to the military, you went to basic training, and then you went to advanced infantry school or whatever,
Right.
You did all these schools.
Right.
So when you come out, if you refuse to accept that you are now in this new category, well, not category, but you are not now a civilian, then...
It's hard.
Because if you continue to try and do with no retraining,
right?
Because we're not talking retraining as in become a plumber. We're talking retraining of your thought processes and who you identify with. Like, oh, I feel so alone. Nobody gets me. Well, yeah, if you haven't made an attempt,
because you haven't accepted to adapt, right? You haven't accepted. Or you're sitting here thinking like, oh, no one understands me. Yeah, because how many percentage of the United States, just saying the United States, have even served? It's going to be real fucking hard to find that bucket
let's just
of dudes,
say this,
right?
though, dude. Let's just say this. Down the bottom of the street here, we got Mel's Diner, right? Mel's Diner. How many people understand truly what it's like to be a server that works on Sunset Boulevard?
Right.
Look, if people have, like, the chances that someone's done your exact job are going to be minuscule. Most people are not fully understood.
Yeah.
That's not just something.
I'm a veteran server at Mel's.
Yeah.
No one fucking says that.
But look, I'm a veteran shoe salesman at Champ Sports.
Vinny, I did serve in the Olive Garden.
But think about it though, right?
You're right, man. That's a great point.
Because it's like it's I think some of the veterans have this problem of going, oh, it's veterans and the civilians. Dude, there's so many shades of civilian experience.
Well, bro, there's so many shades of veteran experience.
Yes.
Same aspect,
true,
right?
Pogues.
Well, don't get me started on that one, right? But no, it's like this thing. It's like people have now. It's partly my generation of dudes who caused it, right? I believe that Matt Best, Jared Taylor, Vince Vargas, part of the wave of social media and veterans and entertainment and business, kind of accidentally started that too, right? Started this bro thing because we're an exaggerated version of ourselves. You're watching us on YouTube thinking like, those are cool motherfuckers, yeah, but those aren't the real motherfuckers. Those are entertainment versions of us, right? This Matt Best isn't the dude that fucking tits and fucking beer all day long. There's a version of that in us, right? Yeah. But it's not really us. It's the entertainment version. But everyone else, the impressionable minds of youth that are in the military look up to these special operations guys, these ex-special operations guys with legitimate backgrounds and say, I want to be more like that guy. Yeah. But no, you want to be just like the guy you saw on YouTube who's not really the guy. Meet Matt Best in a fucking person. He's not that guy.
Well, I met him last week for the first time. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I've met enough people at this point to know what you're saying, but still there's that thing when you walk in the room of what's this person going to be like, because there's an online presence. I'm like, look, right now we're having an animated conversation, right? I bet you guys are the same as me. Like, you spend a lot of your time just sitting down thinking, quiet as fuck.
For sure.
I'm not, we're not always cracking jokes about fucking pogues and thinking boobies and stuff. It's most of the time it's really quiet. And if someone walked past you in a fucking train station or whatever, they probably wouldn't even, if it wasn't for your tattoos and stuff, might not even recognize you because you're not being loud and projecting. You're just probably going to be sitting there minding your business.
Right.
You know?
And what's the thing, when you ran into Matt, part of you said, hey, maybe I should buy him a Jameson shot. All right? And the other part's like, oh shit, he's not that same dude.
Well, to be honest, like, I think I'll go on a tangent actually about Black Rifle a bit because go for it, bro. Okay. So when I went down there,
you want Mexican beer or
well, we've only got
Pacifico. We got Pacifico.
We got Pacifico in.
You guys are fucked up.
You mentioned Matt Best. Jameson and Vinny goes, give me a beer.
Yeah. So I met Evan briefly, met Jared briefly, and like Marty, shout out Marty and shout out Logan. Those guys, like, they showed me around, and I was just like, I was blown away by the level of it's like being in an operations room of or operations center of a brigade.
Yeah.
She's a huge staff there. Don't get me wrong, there's a great atmosphere there, people cracking some jokes, but the main atmosphere that came across was a bunch of people working fucking hard.
Well, it's professionalism.
Yeah, but a charged area.
Yeah.
Because I've been to some offices, dude, and it's like it's a graveyard, isn't it?
Yeah.
People are there, they're clocking in, but everyone there, you could tell that they believed in the mission and they wanted to be there. But it didn't even occur to me to think that way. It was just like, these are people on tight schedules. Getting any time with them is a privilege.
Yeah.
And then Marty and Logan, on the other hand, you fuckers, that hangover hit me. We went out after we did the podcast. And I was dead for like 2 days.
I like how you always mention this. Is you say you disconnect from the veteran moniker, but you don't ever hide it. You just don't really advertise it. Like a lot of the guys hang their hat on that. And we were talking about guys who can't let go of the military and they get these contracting jobs. But then there's the opposite guys who leave the military and then they go into these government contract jobs where they do work in these mindless jobs of government organizations, which to guys like us probably just seems like the least appealing thing to do.
You're talking cubicle work and paperwork.
But it's safe.
It is
and
safe.
when you transition, you're surrounded by the same guys, the same environment, dudes in uniform and women in uniform. But to do what you're doing and venture into the entertainment space and TV and being on Mayans and writing books at the rapid rate, that amount of work, the things that Matt does and anyone in this business, I mean, the hours that people put in on that, I think it looks really glamorous when you see the posts on social media, but they don't see the 18 hours on set.
That's the funny thing.
Or the weeks away from your family.
I say it all the time that guys are like, hey, man, I want to be an actor. What can I do? I was like, do the work, right? Like if you've messaged me and the first time you've said to someone or yourself that you want to be an actor and you've messaged me, how? Fuck you.
Fuck you indeed. I'll second that, bro.
Yeah,
because
what you should have done is Googled it, researched it, read about it, done everything that I did before I even reached out to anyone. I learned about it. I did everything I could to be the expert of what was resources that were available to me. And then at that point I felt, okay, I'm comfortable enough to say that I've done everything I could for myself. I need a little help now. That is different. That's a guy that I'm like, oh, dude, you've done a lot. Yeah, bro. Here's what I would do next.
How many emails do you get like that just from knuckleheads?
I get 10 messages a day on Instagram, right? That's probably the one most active. And it's always like, what have you done yet? Oh, nothing, man. I'm asking you.
It's like, and it actually comes across as insulting because it's like you're thinking like, oh, bitch, I have nothing better to do with my time.
It's not even that. It's like, oh, I've done all the hard work and you want me to just hand it to you?
Well, mate, but also, I have episodes of this podcast where I've done, specifically, I've sat down, I've done writing Q&As, right? I've done writing Q&As, I've put posts up, and people just be like, how do I get a book deal? I'm like, well, one, have you even listened to the podcast? What podcast? It's like, bye-bye.
Yeah, bro. I get asked all the time, like, oh man, what does it need? What do I need to be a ranger? Any advice? Don't quit. Hey, I'm going to base training. Any advice? Don't quit. Like, dude, I'm not going to give you the fucking answer, bro. Just don't fucking quit. Because, come on, you can research this all you want. So then I got tired of this. I wrote a fucking article and says how to be an Army Ranger, right? And so then I'm just sending links to motherfuckers. And then people keep asking me, how do you be a Border Patrol agent? Fuck, wrote that article. Now I just send that link because, like, I'm making my life easier. But, like, read it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Because you still don't not want to help. You I feel guilty of, like, there's some, again, some knucklehead who's like, how do you get an agent? Google it. How do you write a book? Google it. How many chapters are in a book? Google it. How many words are in a chapter? Google it.
How many times have you had someone ask you about how to get a book
By the way, that's how I did it. I Googled it. Like this crazy thing the kids are all talking about, the interweb. I think it's a fad. It'll go away. But,
dude, how many times have you had it where someone's like, I want to get a book published. I want to get...
Yeah.
And it's like, have you written the book yet?
Right.
No. Well, how about you start by writing the book?
That's a funny thing, dude. That's...
No, it happens a lot.
It happens like crazy. And a lot of guys, same thing in the world, because I do a lot of speaking on transition, right? I get paid to do that, which is super fucking awesome, and I love it. But then there's guys that come to me and be like, bro, how do you get over it? I'm like, get over what? Or this is today. This happens today. This happens every day. Like, but today, and this is what I say. He goes, bro, I can't handle these demons. And the first thing I write to him, when they say demons, I say, define demons. Because, right, it's like, it is this word that we've all used as the blanket statement for whatever it is, right? Define demons. Give me that exactly. What is that one thing that you're hung up on? Oh, survivor's guilt. Boom. You got it.
There you go.
Survivor's guilt. Now, how do you fix that? Go counseling, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Go to fucking counseling, right? You've already identified it now. You're just hitting me for like the love and support and the shoulder rubs. I got it. Cool.
Dude, how many veterans who were there? Oh, it's a veteran. He's got mental health problems. A veteran. How many of those issues are down to bad relationships and have nothing to do with war?
Oh no.
And but it's because it's like, I think it's very hard for a man to go, oh, my heart's broken because my wife left me.
It's very hard.
But it's easier to say, not easy, but easier to say, I got my head fucked up in war.
No, my life's falling apart, bro.
Because of war.
Yeah.
Because the war.
Because
Because of G-War.
I was like, no. So dude, I did a podcast on this and explained, like, there's a handful of items that we could all fucking break down to why a lot of these guys are stressed out, right? Finances can make a motherfucker want to kill himself, bro. You know, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you.
I've been there.
You know, when you have my situation, 6 kids,
Whoa.
bro, there's a lot of pressure on just paying that bill. You know what I mean? There's a lot of pressure, and when you find yourself in a job that's not as structured as the Border Patrol, but I risked it all to try and follow a dream.
Yep.
I get a $20K paycheck in 1 month, and I get nothing for 3 sometimes, right? Scary motherfucker, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that puts me through like, oh fuck this, I'm going contracting, right? Like you think of everything, right? You go like, and so finance is a big one, and people need to learn how to manage their money, because I've never learned that until my wife came along. I've never been good, bro. I've had so much money in my account, and then by the next weekend, like that weekend, I paid for everything for all the homies. You know what I mean? Like this weird thing, but that is one of the big stresses I believe a lot of guys are putting themselves to or putting them to that edge.
Yep.
Relationships, yeah, dude. But half the time, those relationships are fucked up because of them. They don't look in the mirror and say, what am I doing wrong to fuck this up?
She's a bitch.
Right?
She complains all the time. Well, what's she complaining about?
She acts like I'm never there. Bro, you're never there.
You keep turning up and pissing the bed because you drank a bottle of Jameson?
Exactly. Because Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night are for the boys. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think?
I mean, Saturdays are for the boys. That would have sacrosanct.
But you see what I'm saying? And then the next thing
Not like that.
The next thing is alcohol. Every dude that hits me up is like, bro, I'm having a rough night. I was like, yeah, what are you doing? Just drinking here. Thinking it's like, that's your first problem, bro. Yeah, drinking will cause it, bro. Drinking will put you in that space, dude. Yeah. And if all the other shit is coming down on you and you choose drinking because that's what you need, dog, it's going to put you in a worse position.
Be drinking a fucking pre-workout and lifting some fucking weights.
I tell everyone, bro. Dude, I've been through 2 divorces now, right? And I'm holding on to this 3rd marriage because it's just embarrassing to have 3, right? You know what I mean? But I love my lady. Everything's good. I'm just saying, like, trust me, after that first divorce, I was embarrassed as fuck, right? And the situation was embarrassing, and I don't ever go public with what happened, but it wasn't a good one, right? Like, I was embarrassed as fuck, dude. I started drinking like a motherfucker, and I was just telling you out there, like, this was my thing. Like, I was fucking up work, because I was, and I've just never been my character, bro. I show up early, I shave, I'm fucking shine boots, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm fucking not shaving, I'm fucking getting in trouble, I'm getting written up.
And this is in the Rangers?
This is while I was in the Border Patrol, dude.
Oh, Border Patrol.
Yeah, out of the military.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, my life is getting fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
There was a switch that hit, and I just said, you know what, fuck this. That one's done. There's a next one coming. Get better. And so I started hitting the gym. Hitting that gym, I got in such good shape, right? I got back into it. Like, man, now the confidence is back. Fucking chicks are hitting me up left and right because you just look good and feel good. Yep. All of a sudden, fucking a selection shows up for the fucking Border Patrol to go to special operations. I smoke this motherfucker because I'm in shape. But if I stayed drinking, never would have happened. So these things start piling up with goods, right? What'd I do? One thing. Yep. I fucking made myself better. And then a year later, got the custody of my kids. Like, bro, it was one fucking thing after another that fixed my life. It all came down to one thing. Make me better. Everything else kind of falls into place.
How many times have you been through that cycle, though? It seems like...
Oh, bro, it goes.
But now, are you at the stage
now
where...
I know.
Are you forecasting, like, hey, I'm about to hit that cycle again?
Yep.
And do you have a barricade? A mental barricade?
I just told him, I'm not drinking. This is the first probably full beer I'm going to finish in 7 months.
Because he's gonna break it down on the
podcast. Way to fuck him up.
No. But I'm not a sober dude, right? I've never said. It's just I've had control of my situation because I know my mentality from the military didn't transfer into the civilian world as in fitness and how important it was until months later, and I felt like, dude, I fucked up. I need to get back in shape.
Well, you share that. I think that's the important thing too. Is and you know, I wrote about it too, and it was a tough thing to do. Is, you know, smashing your Jeep into a ditch, you know, drugged up, you know, drunk off my ass, self-medicating, and then waking up. That the pain, the physical pain from the airbags popping all around me was nothing compared to the shame. And to share that with everybody is tough. And, you know, I didn't drink for a long, long time, and I have, you know, it's probably a self-imposed. I don't drink in public.
Yeah.
And people, you know, when you're around our community who glamorize alcohol and stuff, and even in Hollywood, you know, they expect that. And when you say, no, I'm just going to have water, and they're like, oh, come on, man. You're like, no, fuck you, man. Like, this is my rule. This is my barricade, because if I know once I cross that barricade, if I'm not surrounded by people I trust. That night when I did that, there was one key component aside from the alcohol and prescription drugs that were prescribed to me.
Yeah.
There were no Marines. There were no soldiers around me to say, hey, motherfucker, don't get in your car.
Yeah.
I'll drive you home. But I'm thinking, whatever. There was no one to stop me.
Yeah.
So now I have to do it myself, and that's how I do it.
You guys, if I have barricades, I think I've fucked up my life enough that I have barricades in front of those barricades before I get to that. You know what I'm saying? I have I know way before it gets there. Like, we know where this goes. Done it too many fucking times, bro. You know what I mean? From every aspect of from drinking to freaking relationships to fucking to being a father and not being there, choosing the job over the kids. That was my life, bro. Yeah. I changed that, and I still now look at me. Where am I? I'm in LA right now, not home. I'm not fucking helping my kids shop for school clothes. It eats me alive right now because I'm doing it again, right? But I'm making sure every day it's like, these are conscious decisions to fucking say yes or no, right? Like, when I speak, I tell everyone, like, I say no to work and yes to family more often than I ever have. And that's not easy for guys like us who, when you say no to work, we don't say no to work.
Yeah, no.
You don't say no to the mission. You don't say fucking no. That's wrong. That's fucked up. But then being able to do that changes everything.
Isn't it something, though, that, like, especially with military men, being away from your kids is like, I'm not saying it's a natural thing, but it's men going away to war, men going away to work is as old as time.
It's justifiable, bro.
Yeah.
You in your head say, it's okay. I'm serving a bigger purpose for you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I say it. Oh, the bills are paid, and the family's being protected on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's justifiable, right? It's continue to be, even law enforcement, anyone in that kind of service world, you can justify the fucking being gone. But what you'll never get back is the memories lost.
Yeah.
And you have to determine what's more important. Everyone will choose that, right? In my head, like I said, this is stuff I talk about and write about all the time. Like when I do my balance speeches, like, in the end of the day, who's going to be holding my hand on my deathbed? Will it be my kids? I don't know. Did I burn that bridge too often?
So.
Right. Did I burn that bridge so often that they're like, I don't really know my dad.
Yeah.
When I got custody of my kids, bro, my daughter, who's now 14, fucking, all my kids are fucking awesome, but this girl, like, emotionally connected to me on a different level since she was really little, so I always feel bad for her emotions. And we're laughing in the car, and she goes, Dad, you're so funny. And I fucking was like, yes, your fucking dad is funny. What the fuck? In my head, I'm like, how do you not know this? She was fucking 10. I'm like, how have you missed this? And it fucking hurt me, dude. It hurt me deep because it's like, whoa, she's never seen the best sides of me because I've been too busy with work, right? I've said yes to work and no to family. And so it fucks with me. And now it's like the biggest thing is, blessed now we have FaceTime, which changes the game for all of us who travel with family. But it's like, as well as saying no to work and doing these little things, right, to stay connected to the kids has been a big part of. But that's the big part of why my family is not falling apart. Yeah. I'm taking that time.
But dude, it's the time. It's the time spent too.
Right.
Because look, there's a lot of dads out there who don't work, who spend all day in the house with their kids. But how much time are they actually spending with their kids?
Are they connecting with them?
Yeah, it's like, you know, if you have an hour where your phone's away and you're really kind of connecting with your kid, that means more than being around, you know, all fucking day.
100%.
You know? And that's just not kids either. It's just friends, family, you know, friends, any members of the family. You know, I think we can all be guilty of saying like, "Oh yeah, I spent the evening with my dad or whatever." It's like, but how much time did you actually do? Yeah. So I don't know. It's a difficult one for everyone, bro, because there's only so many hours in a lifetime.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
And it's not easy, dude. And And there's guys who go like, bro, what am I supposed to do? I have to go to this course. I'm like, dude, some of these courses are you have to sacrifice that to put your family in different positions. If I wasn't in the military, bro, I never would have been able to put my family in the position they are today. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Right? So there's sacrifices that had to be done. Right? It's just, my father was an LA City firefighter. He had to do those days where he's gone for 3 days and back too. Like those are sacrifices that are in the end of the day. It's like you're just doing your best to put your kids in a bigger position.
Are you from LA originally?
I am. I'm just from down the street here.
Oh, right, cool. Oh, so for those that we're in Hollywood at the moment, it's no big deal.
No big deal.
Did you watch Emergency?
I grew up in San
As
Fernando.
a kid?
No.
No.
Emergency. I know the name of it.
Before your time. Huh?
I know it.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
You're 38. Yeah.
But I know it. I do know it because it sounds familiar when I was
Randolph
really young.
Mantooth and
So my dad was at LA City Fire. So my dad's story, he was an ex-gang member here in Echo Park.
Oh, right.
He got arrested at 16 for a big gang fight, and they made at that time they gave him the option like, look, you can go to jail or you can go to the military. At 16 years old, his mom signed the paper. Boom, 17, he takes off to boot camp.
Better than jail, bro.
So, and that's kind of where my upbringing was fully engulfed in sports and family. Like, you're not running the streets, you're fucking playing sports, because last thing he wanted from me was to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And just blessed to have that, right? Like, very fortunate to be one of the few who had both parental figures in the household, and a strong male role model, because a lot of my friends don't have that. And fucking, that's one of the blessings I had. Also one of the curses, because that fucking dude was mean as fuck. You know what I mean? He's a devil dog, right? Just very stern fucking dude.
He's a Marine.
Yeah, he is. He was a Marine. And he's just a tough motherfucker, bro. And I love him now, but when I was younger, every day he was home, I was trying to find a way to get out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, those old school mentalities, right? Just very tough and stern, and raising men, that don't cry. That
It's a
don't,
different, totally different generation, too. And we were talking about my buddy Jay Moore on the last episode, and he notes in his comedy routine that we're the first generation of I Love You dads, where we are. He claims that, too, because Jay and I are both 49, and to be able to say that to your kids and say it often and still discipline them.
Do you say it to your dads? I get a feeling.
Me and my pops are so close now, but
when was that point that you started saying that? Because for me, it was after Afghanistan. I had to do 3 tours before I said that.
Yeah. For me and my pop, I think it was after my first deployment time frame, things really kind of softened up for both of us, right? For him, he started having grandkids, and he saw a different guy. Right? He was just completely a soft character now, which was beautiful to watch him do that, because he was a tough dude, right? Like, fucking tough, and for me and him to go get tattoos together, and him just fucking be like, hey, Sonny boy, I'm so proud of you, I love you, and that's always been our thing, is tattoos. That's why I'm so heavily fucking tattooed. In my head, it's always been our thing, and so we're always finding time to do something, but I remember my oldest daughter's 16, I'm a young dad, 21 years old, and I have my daughter, and I'm changing her diaper, and he was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, changing her diaper. He goes, that's a woman's job. Like, where's your mom? Go get your mom. I'm like, no, Pop, I got it, dude. Like, my dad's never changed a fucking diaper, bro. That's the era he's from. This machismo, Latino kind of thing. And I was like, hey, dude, this is my kid. I'm good. Yeah. And he kind of threw him off a little, but at the same time, I think he had to start like, different time, bro. Different time. My fucking kids, I do everything for these kids, right? Yeah. It's a funny generation.
I don't know if it worked for me up. Like, I think it works for dads our age down. Yeah. But I don't have a lot of memories of telling my dad that I loved him. I know he didn't say
Really? Really?
Yeah. I think maybe a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, bro, here's the funny thing. My mom was uncomfortable with emotions, dude. So growing up, my mom wouldn't say I love you, dude. Not until I got older. She would say, I like you too. And it was like a big joke. It was a big joke in the family. It was a big joke. I'm like, Mom, say it. She goes, you already know. I don't have to say it. I'm like,
it's so funny how there's that cork in them.
And she's the reason I feel I have my sense of humor is her. Because shit like this, like our whole lives is this, right? But it's like, I'm like little 13-year-old, like, Mom, say it. You love me. She goes, you already know.
It sounds like an episode of George Lopez.
Well, that's how she is, dude. I like you too. And I'm like, what the fuck? Well, it's funny. One thing I wanted to mention was like, we were talking about the whole veteran thing. And one of the quotes I say is before I joined the military, I was watching it on TV, dude. It was like 2002. I'm watching fucking the Marine put the American flag over the Saddam statue. Do you remember that? And they pulled it down.
3rd Battalion, 4th Marines.
There you go.
Shout out 3-4.
I was sitting there watching at a bar with a buddy of mine who was an ex-Navy guy, and I'm like, man, it's fucking awesome. CNN or CNN or Fox News, whoever had the family there, and they're crying and how proud they are of their son to watch their son do that, you know? And I'm like, my parents have never fucking looked at me that way in my life, you know what I mean? And so that kind of ate at me. I'm like, I'm a college baseball player, fucking up life, like just not doing anything right, you know what I mean? And failing out of college, and I was like, that's what I need to do, right? I need to join the military and do something other than this. I'm sitting here with this dude, and we're sitting here, and I have no war stories, right? And so my head was like, 40 years from now, I don't want to be the dude with no war stories, right? And so I joined. Now, I don't want to be the dude with only war stories, bro.
Yeah, that's great.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't want to be. This is a time I served, and now it's like, what the fuck is next? If I take the same mentality I did in the military,
it's so great.
What the fuck is next, man?
Yeah.
You know, and my wife's like, why do you do so much? I was like, dude, we have friends that will never get the chance to fucking live, to experience.
And not even friends that have passed away. Friends that just won't live. Just as in because they there's for whatever reason they won't take the break off and live. So it's not even like you've got to do it for your comrades that passed away, which you do. But you also, like, it's just, I have friends that I just look at and I think, like, oh, and they're not even really my friends anymore. It's not, I have love for them. Anyone's been in my life like that. But friends from high school or whatever, and you look at it and you just think, like, you stalled out at 16.
Bro,
you know? Like,
there's so many of that. Yeah. There's people that capped out is what we say here, right?
Yeah. Do you know Josue Barone?
I'm so bad with names, it doesn't sound familiar.
So he's a neighbor of mine. We just actually had him on the show, but he works with our...
You assume I know Jose because I'm Mexican, bro?
No, Josue.
Do you know Jose?
Not Jose, Josue Barone. But he's a 3.5 Marine, and we did this golf tournament up here at LA County Sheriff's Department, and he just shows up. I didn't even know he was golfing. I said, hey, who are you golfing with? He's like, you, sir. I'm like, all right, hop in the car. And we didn't even make it to the first hole, and we're talking about bringing him on board with the nonprofit, and he's got he's an amputee left side all the way up to the hip. He's missing his eye.
I've heard about this guy.
Shrapnel on his body. He got blown up in Sangin, and he says to me, you know what? I want to be a part of something. I know I need to do this, but I don't want people to say I'm a hero and remember me for what I did or why I got injured. I want people to remember me for what I did after that.
Yep.
And man, right there. I mean, I said it out loud. I'm writing that down. Because I don't want to forget that. And I think that is so cool. And he's doing it. He was in that movie. He did some stunt work. I mean, he's even acting when Peppermint with Jen Gardner.
Yeah.
He was one of the vatos that got whacked by Jen Gardner on the street.
Dude, that's funny because one of my buddies, one of my best friends now, man, Richard Cabral, who was on the show with me on Mayans MC, he was on that. He was on Peppermint. A lot of dudes were on that. So it's a trip, man. It's a trip, man. Like when you finally see guys get it and they stop, like, it's the other analogy, I say is that you don't want to be the Al Bundy of the military world, right? Talking about
Al Bundy.
So many
Al Bundy
gems.
I did.
Bro, so you don't know what that is, the reference?
No.
Have you ever seen the show Married with Children? Heard of it?
Right, yeah.
There's a American television show called Married with Children, and Al Bundy is a shoe salesman, and he's just such a miserable dude. But his only glory was scoring scoring 4 touchdowns in a high school game, and he fucking talks about it all the time, like, I scored 4 touchdowns in fucking.
It's like Uncle Rico.
Yeah, Uncle Rico, exactly, bro. Don't be Uncle Rico, bro. There's so much more out there. Dude.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I feel hypocritical saying that, having just written a book about Afghanistan and stuff. But no, look, part of the reason for that is to be able to literally close a chapter. I've I spoke with my agents, my publishers before I came out here, and I was really, because I was like, look, I don't want to be writing war books the rest of my life. And fucking, my agents, publishers are fucking awesome. They're like, just write what you want to write, because that's what'll be good. And so that was dope, because I felt like there was this pressure on me as the military guy, but it's a self-imposed pressure, honestly.
Yeah, no, for sure. But you have to understand too, we need that, right? Like, you need that. The Ranger Battalion hasn't done very well with that. You know who's done very well? The fucking Navy SEALs. They have done the best recruiting tool for themselves, but not even that. Just being able to tell their history You know what I mean? And continue on the lives of the guys who have passed away, right? That's important to do too. Yeah. My unit, fucking Ranger Battalion, is so fucking hard-headed on the fact that, like, quiet professionals. I love that. I get it. Mm-hmm. But we have to start telling our story in some aspect, or else we lose the fucking...
oh, my God.
We lose the history
the irony of it is that the Navy SEAL organization is the youngest out of any of the special operator branches, right. The Marine Corps or Rangers. Right. You guys all have the storied history.
Bro, there's so much.
But and they had the most shrouded secrecy too, and then Dick Marchenko hops on the scene and like blows it out of the water. Then everybody with a Navy Trident slap it on the cover of the book, and it's a bestseller. And I'm not saying anything against those guys.
Right, not at all. I say this. I think this. I think there's some of the guys didn't take the approach I would have, and some guys did. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's exactly it. But I think it needs to be done. I think if I ever wrote a book about Ranger Battalion, I know my own community would hate me. But the future of my community will appreciate me, because the kids these days, my son says, Dad, I want to be a Navy SEAL. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing as a dad? Right? Yeah. How does my son know more about Navy SEALs than my own life? I don't talk about it in my own household.
And now it's spread into, like we were talking earlier about the SEAL team, the show, most movies that get made about special operations, because once they gain the foothold, now it's just become like if you're going to make a movie now and you don't make it about, if you're going to make a special operations movie, you don't make it about SEALs, you know, people will be like, oh, movie about fucking
who are they?
Rangers?
Who are they? Why?
Like,
why is the Navy SEALs are better?
Yeah.
Bro, trust me, in being in Hollywood, as an actor in Hollywood, and also I'm the tech advisor for our show, right? They told me, like, hey, we're thinking about bringing on this Navy SEAL as a tech advisor for the show. I'm like, why would you hire anyone else but me? You know what I mean? And no offense, they just didn't understand, because they don't know, and I don't tell them about me.
We're not disrespecting SEALs here. They do a great job.
Not at all.
You don't walk around with your like boonie cover and Ranger tab offset.
Hey guys, I was a Ranger, bro.
You don't wear your grunt style apparel.
No, dude. Well, that's the thing, is that there's nothing wrong with Navy SEALs at all. They've actually done the best marketing for themselves. They've given themselves opportunity after service more than any other fucking dude because of that title. And I wish other units saw that and saw the not just how lucrative that can be for us, but there's a foothold in the civilian culture for us if we showed that. And as well as our kids in the future of our units will have the appreciation that the SEALs have now that we deserve.
I see that too from another side, from a affection for my service branch, because we suffer from that, and for building a future generation of great warfighters. The Marine Corps in and of itself, the infantry officers course is the most grueling 13 weeks of training. They don't even list their course curriculum on their education website on marines.com. They do a horrible job advertising it, and what that does is it doesn't really protect their curriculum. It limits the pool of people that want to join and be badasses for their military, because guess who's going to get all those guys? The SEALs or the Rangers, because they've done a great job of marketing and promoting themselves and sharing what they need to share in a great light. And I've said this in public before, and I'm not saying it against my service branch, but I wish they would do better.
Trust me, that's the thing, and that's why. So when you write a book about your service and your unit, like, that's good, because you're doing a testament to them. You're giving the history books for them.
Well, I think so. I think you're immortalizing.
That's exactly what you're doing,
and not just. Because it's one thing immortalizing people who pass away, but it's like, well, everyone that was there did their part. They all deserve immortalizing.
100%.
Do you ever think about shifting gears? Do you think you can write a romance novel?
I think I could write anything, honestly.
Yeah, no, I think you could too.
I like it.
Like I can writing is a skill, and I think too many people get caught up in thinking that it's some like fucking God is beaming down a laser beam into your fucking fingertips and shit. It's like. It's a skill, and if you are a craftsman and you put in the hours, like we were saying earlier, then, like, look, you're going to have more of a natural affinity to writing one style or another. Yeah. But if you're a fucking professional and you work at the skill, then there's no reason that you can't write anything. So, well, you're going to pitch me an idea what we get out.
maybe
I got a romance idea.
A
Ranger, a British infantry soldier, and a Marine Corps officer.
Two dudes. Nothing wrong with that, bro.
Three guys, one cup.
I like how you see the. I'm the same way. I see the artistry in everything that people do, not just artists that are generally categorized. But I had some guys doing some concrete work in my house, and they raised this thing. They shot the concrete up off the ground, and then they caulked around it. And instead of just caulking it, they took this sand and they polished it and made it look like,
Yeah.
God, that is amazing, man. I never would have thought to do that. And I value the craftsmanship and the dedication, doing the work, man.
Go ahead.
I just appreciate anyone who's an expert in their craft. It's attractive.
Yeah.
It's attractive because they've put in the work to be great. And like men, women, I don't give a fuck what it is. Someone who's dude, if someone's great at flipping a fucking sign trying to sell a house, like damn, that's dope, dude.
What type of person does it take to realize that that's attractive, though? Is it a like-minded person? Because a lot of people take it for granted.
I don't know.
An experienced person.
Yeah, experience, right?
That you do. I started first trying to write like 10 years ago, and I didn't have an appreciation for the work, as you say, because I just didn't have a body of experience in my life.
Yeah.
Now when I see, so the whole thing with the SEALs, I take my hat off to them because they've worked hard at what they did. But like you're saying, there's where we are right now. We're up in the Hollywood Hills, and there's a bunch of houses getting built around here. I fucking go for a walk around here. I see those guys working. I take my fucking hat off to them too. Yeah. They're not doing Hell Week,
right?
But they're fucking working out in the heat.
Yeah.
And and they're making some beautiful houses.
Yeah.
So I take my hat off to that too.
Yeah.
But I think it's a reduction of ego too, because it's like I think there's one part of you that wants to be like, well, what I do is important and what everyone else does isn't important, and everyone else is a fucking idiot for not doing what I do, but they could never do it because they're idiots. And then I'm just like, now my thing is, it's like, yeah, you know what? Like what I do touches some people, but it's not changing the world, as in like on a global scale. There's some people who you'll never know the names of who will make little inventions. Like there's somebody out there who's made a water filter that probably saves millions of lives every year. No one knows his fucking name. Or
he doesn't have 1 million followers on Instagram.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, he hasn't got a nice ass.
He's on the show next week. Tune in. We've got that guy on the show next week. I
want free filters. Yeah, but you know what I mean? There's so many people like that, dude. We'll throw a fucking stick around here right now, and I guarantee you'll hit an impressive. There's guys at the end of the street here I know who are directors of big pictures. But you know what? Like I said, just down the bottom of the street, working in Mel's, there's some people in there. They're always really nice. They remember you, and they're lovely people. And they work hard at what they do.
Yeah,
and that's it. Like if they work hard at what they do, that's the important thing.
There's also the guy that's working at Mel's right now that wants to be a fucking screenwriter and eventually will. Right?
He's probably a veteran.
Right. Bro, you never know. Yeah. I have a buddy who just had a hit show. I won't say his name because I'm not sure how he feels about his information getting too out. But he's a writer for a show that just blew up. Awesome. It's his first big thing, and he actually just sold another show on top of that. Like he's doing great. But bro, 5 years ago he was homeless, right? You live in that dream, and you should go in for like. There's beauty in that, right? And you forget, like you don't know who the fuck what. That's the thing for me. Like I don't ever want to imagine I know anyone's story, right? So I treat everyone as if like, bro,
oh my God,
you know what I mean? I don't know what you've been through. I'm not gonna treat you bad because there's no. I can't put myself above you, right? Like it's humanity, dude. We all go through shit, right? Yeah. You might meet someone at their lowest of lows or their highest of highs. I don't give a fuck. I just treat them all the same. You know what I mean? Because you just don't know people's story.
You never know. I was sitting at a table in a little diner, not Mel's, by the way. This episode brought to you by Mel's Diner.
I'm going to be asking for some free fucking breakfast there tomorrow.
I'm sitting across from the top ranked U.S. Marine Corps sniper and Jack Coughlin, who wrote Shooter and 13 other books, and then Bob Hamer, who it was the top FBI agent undercover, wrote The Last Undercover, and then there's a couple of guys, and there's just my dumb ass sitting there, and I'm thinking, all these guys eating breakfast have no fucking idea who is sitting at this table.
None.
And now I sit down and I look around and I see these guys and I think, I wonder what that guy did for a living.
It's so funny. Dude, so we're on set, just a funny on-set scene, you know, like one of the stuntmen I know because my father's worked with him for many years in the boxing community. He's a well-known striker. He's actually Anderson Silva's striking coach for a long time. But he's a very humble dude, very quiet, right? And he's sitting there as a stunt guy doing stunts, and JD loves fighting. JD in the Mayans MC loves fighting, right? So we talk MMA all the time. And he's doing a joke with the stunt guy, doesn't know who he is. He says, bro, let me show you some new fighting technique. And he's like, okay, whatever, right? JD shows him this thing. He like kind of gets him in a full Nelson, then he just tickles him. Right. And JD was like, bro, I was just messing with the guys. I was like, which guy? He's like, that guy. I'm like, bro, do you know who that is? He goes, no. I was like, that's Anderson Silva striking, coach. He goes, shut up. I'm like, yes, bro. I was pulling it up online. He goes, dude, I'm so fucking embarrassed. I just tickled him, dude.
But at least he was having a laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, did you watch the Pacquiao fight the other week?
Yeah, I love it.
Because we were talking about...
Real quick.
Go on.
My father's the cornerman for Thurman. If you watched the fight, you saw my dad. Yes.
Damn, dude, I actually really enjoyed that fight.
Great fight.
Really enjoyed it.
Great fight.
I was saying that we were talking about Freddie Roach.
Yeah.
So we were saying, like, if you don't, like, you have to really know kind of boxing and stuff to know who he is.
Yes.
Like, if you were in Vegas that weekend and he just walked past, you'd be like, oh, look, here's some, like, fucked up looking old guy walking past. Never knowing that he's one of the most highly respected, skillful fucking coaches out there. Like, and it's, and that, when I see examples like him, I think, like, right, that's because I'm not saying I don't do this. Of course I judge people. Yeah, of course I do.
We all do.
But it's the backtracking.
Yeah.
It's judging and then backtracking.
Yeah, you're like,
dude, I did this thing the other week. Actually, I think I'm going a bit off topic here, but I tell you,
you're good.
I went walking down. So San Clemente, like, so you know where we were the other week? We were at San Clemente. We went down towards the pier, and I sat there. I was watching the sunset. I was on my own because I don't have any mates. That's why I have to have a podcast to get some company. We have this saying in the British Army. It's that at the going down of the sun and in the morning we will remember them, right?
Beautiful.
And that's often end of like a longer thing. But every time I see a sunset or a sunrise, I think of that. Yeah. So I was just sat there, being a veteran, with a hood up over my head, brooding. No, but I was just sitting there, just thinking like how lucky I am and everything. Yeah. And the train comes by, you know, the Pacific Surfliner. It came by, and I just like started. It was only a few people on the train, so it wasn't that hard to do. Yeah. But I was just like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And I felt so warm and gooey inside that I went and drank a bottle of Jameson. So I didn't have to think about it. I was like, so kill the feelings, kill the feelings at all costs. But no, I did, and because I was just thinking like. Because there's like, you get a few homeless people around there and stuff. And I used to be super, can't just get your act together, mate. Like, it's all right for me, born in a middle class home, never had to worry about how a fucking roof over my head my entire life.
Right.
Like, and I'm just, why don't you just get your act together? Like, I don't fucking know what that person's been through. Actually, I probably could make a good guess. They've probably fucking been abused. They've probably been beaten. They've probably been run out of their home.
With addiction.
Yeah, they've struggled, 100%. And having been someone with a struggle with addiction, now it's like I had to kind of get humbled to be like, I'm like, oh, you almost ended up killing yourself and you had the support of all your family and friends. Yeah. So how fucking dare you criticize some, you know. So I don't know, dude. So getting back to your point, it's experience. Yeah, your point earlier about
what is it?
I'm glad we're recording this. I had a point.
The attraction. People.
Yeah, it's experience.
Experience and the perspective you get.
You got to fall down a bunch of times before you got to fall down a bunch and learn a bunch.
Humility, right, and some like lack of ego. I think once you've been embarrassed enough, once you've been knocked down enough, like the ego kind of gets.
That's such a learned skill,
right? It
really is a lifelong skill.
But people don't allow that, right? Like. Yeah. Modern society these days don't want to allow their kids to learn about loss, right? They don't. Here's your participation award for 6th place, right? Like, fuck that. If you don't win 1st place, you lost. And it's okay. What do we do next time to get better, right? That's what should be learned, right? Yep. Accepting your losses, knowing what you did wrong, how to work on getting better. We're not building resiliency in our kids anymore. That's why we have a lot of these issues I feel like we're having, right? Like, if a girl breaks your heart and you freaking want to kill yourself, right? That's not having resiliency, right? That's not accepting the fact that life is just fucking life, dude, right? It's not the game of baseball has taught me resiliency better than anything in my entire life, but I try and give that to my kids and explain to them like, it's not fair. Life is not fucking fair. You know what I mean? You lost, good. Yep. I play basketball with my kids. I beat them every fucking time until they beat me. They'll never beat me until they get old enough. You know what I mean? Video games, everything. No, fucking lose. It's okay to fucking lose. What did you do wrong? Yeah. Sports to me has been the best thing to fucking teach them that. But it's like something I think a lot of our veterans don't have that either, is a past that has taught them resiliency, and they're trying to figure it out in the military as adults. It's tough, dude. 17-year-old kids showing up there with no fucking real life experiences.
Dude, sports should be a staple for every single fucking
I think so. Kid. Some aspect of it. Competition of some sort. Yeah. Feeling loss.
And we're cutting it out of schools and public schools, and parents have to pay to get their kids in sports, and it makes it unaccessible for some families.
It's tough,
especially up in LA. I mean, it's interesting talking to Jose. We're just hanging down by the barrel fire, and he said, what would have gotten you out of that gangbanger lifestyle in LA? He's like, sports
100%.
Huge.
No, I think it's one of the most important things is being able to learn life lessons through sports, and people sometimes don't relate that, right?
Do you have the ability now to share that with your kids, like the
100%.
losses?
It's
without losing
Yeah.
that mask of being the dad or the patriarch.
So that's leadership at its finest in my head, right? Like I've done a lot in the leadership world. I'm working on my leadership book now, and in leadership, it's actually my book is the parallels of leadership in the military and raising kids. Mm-hmm. That's my book, and because raising soldiers and raising kids are very, very similar, at all times. The old school methods of leadership was tyrants, right? Be a tyrant, be the scary dude, and they're gonna listen to you. They're gonna follow you. Fuck that. Now, in my head, leadership is being respected and loved, right? I think the best leadership comes from love. Mm-hmm. The best parenting comes from love. And so, for me, raising my daughters, like my daughters are wrestlers, and so it's the coolest dynamic of anything because it's not a son who's like you're expecting to be tough. Yeah. No, now you have this fragile ass fucking girl who's pretty as fuck during the day and then fucking turns into a monster during fucking a match, right? It's a cool dynamic. Yeah. Cool. And it also puts me in a space where I want to talk to my daughter in the most respectful way, as well as like teaching points for everything, right? And it's so beautiful. We prepare ourselves for the ride. All right, you got a wrestling tournament today. Here we go. What's your plan? And I've taught them to visualize every move, right? In my head, I've raised in fighting, right? So it's like visualize everything. Visualize every fucking outcome so we can have an answer for that outcome. And so then when it happens in a match, you're prepared for that. Mm-hmm. I do this in life. I think about the worst case scenario in my life now. What could happen when I wake up tomorrow? A phone call of someone passing away, whatever the case. I'm prepared for that. I've already accepted it. I know what the plan is for that. I do that for them in fighting. I do that for them in wrestling. And then when they lose, I just give them notes. Hey, no one cares if you lose. In our household, they all know. Lose. No one gives a shit. Yeah. If you quit, that's a problem, right? If you give up, that's a fucking problem. And they're gonna, dude. They're gonna get pushed to the point where they quit. And I'm gonna say, you quit. Mm-hmm. Disappointed in that. Don't quit. There's a reason why you quit. What was it? Mentally tell me what happened. What was going through my... So this system right here that we have, I will never be my kid's friend, per se. There's a time where I take the hat off. We say in the drill sergeant world, sometimes you take the hat off and become human, human dialogue. And there's sometimes you keep it on, be like, you're wrong, boom, right? And this hierarchy is always established. My kids will never feel like we're friends, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh and joke together, and they can't make fun of me at times. And I'll be like, oh... good one. You got me, right? Yeah. And so that's this thing, but that's leadership at its finest as well, right? And so that's what I try and do. I try and maintain. They always know dad is dad. They're never going to cross that line. And when they do, they get put in their place.
Yeah. They're going to have enough friends in their life. And I have the same philosophy as a leader in the Marines. Is I was never there to be their friends. They're only going to have one commander. They're going to have plenty of friends. So when you have to be the person that makes those decisions that would ultimately save their lives, or with your kids, change their lives for the better. You have to know that place, and you can't find I think you can't find a balance.
There is a balance. There is a balance. And you know, sometimes that balance gets tested, right? I think
I feel like I'm failing at it all the time. And if you're a parent and you feel that you're not failing at it...
Have you ever been in charge of, like Grunt, right? I'm in charge of 5 dudes, whatever, and then it'll get to the point where I feel like, okay, I might be losing a little control. Fuck that. Button it back up. Boom, and you put them back in their place, dude. But that's just the checks and balances of it.
I look back on like my leadership as a junior leader when I was first given command. I'm fucking terrible, absolutely terrible. Like my thing was like, I feel like I'm losing command here, losing control. It would be to boil over and get violent.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'll fucking smash your face in it. Don't shit. Like instead, but because I didn't have those methods that you have. Like,
I've done it too, though, bro. I've been in the middle in Afghanistan, and one of my soldiers not pulling security. Mm-hmm. Dude, that's punishable by punching the fucking face as a leader, right? Watch our backs, dog. We're taking a firefight here. You're not watching my back. I turn around and fucking rock this dude right in the ear hole, dude. And he just looked at me. I said, pull security, and he did. And they're like, bro, I can't believe you punched him. Sorry, at that moment, that was the best I had.
Well, it's the best, probably the best thing for the situation.
For that situation, right? But it's like, I tell someone who doesn't understand that, and they're like, bro, what the fuck? I'm like, dude, the circumstances, he knew his job. He didn't do it, right? If I did it in training, I would never do that in training. I'd be like, hey, dude, fuck, bro. Pull security, that's your fucking job. Pull it, you know what I mean? And so it was a different approach to it. But yeah, dude.
And there's a time for explaining your rationale, too, and whether you're in the military or being a parent with I have a young girl, and there's times when I lose my cool. They will press your buttons as a parent, and I raise my voice, but I think I've gotten better, and I give myself a little bit of credit, and you don't do this as a parent often. I will go back either that day or at least the next morning and say, hey, I'm sorry, and apologize to your children. I mean, we don't do it in the military. We don't say I'm sorry very often, but you explain the reasons why. You're like, hey, I don't enjoy losing my temper with you. I don't enjoy raising my voice with you, but here's why I did it. And you need to understand that you were wrong for doing this, and this. Or in the military, like, hey, here's why you got put on extra duty or you got your ass chewed by Sergeant Flip-Flop is because you didn't meet the task, condition, and standard, and your performance didn't meet our expectations.
It happens often.
And that puts other Marines and soldiers at risk.
Right. And it happens often where you question it or you feel. I've gone to sleep like, was that too much? Did I give too much?
Yeah.
Right. But it is, right? But you know what? If I didn't do that, if I didn't have that thought process, I don't give a fuck. No, I give a fuck, right? So that's why I go through these like, oh man, I could have been nicer. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I fucking go like, dude, what the fuck? Especially having teenage daughters, bro.
Yeah.
That's a space where I'm like learning to be like, okay.
You've never been a teenage girl.
Bro, yeah.
You don't know shit.
Bro, no, I know what I did with teenage girls, right? You know who you were, and you're nervous as fuck that they're going to run into the version of you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm even extra fucking asshole, and I try, what I don't want is her not to be able to communicate with Pops, right?
Yeah.
So it's this weird...
Well, yeah, and also if you're too much of an ass, we all know, look, there's a lovely strip club called Bodyworks down the bottom of the hill right here. Which I guarantee you there's a lot of people in there who their dads are too harsh.
Right. No, for sure, dude. And, so it's this interesting space. So but that's leadership.
We should go ask him. We should go and ask him.
We do research.
End the podcast.
Let's do a survey.
We got to research.
Next episode will be brought to you by...
Next, we got a few questions
This
for you.
episode brought to you by Spearmint Rhino. We're here live.
We're doing like deja vu, where we have 1,000 hot ones and 3 ugly ones.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's what is it? Bodyworks. Bodyworks down the street. I've been told. But there's a fine balancing act with anything though, isn't it? It's like with your junior soldiers. If you want to treat them like adults, and you're like, yeah, you know what, guys, we're not going to do a fucking kit inspection before we go out on patrol because I trust you guys. And then you go out on patrol and you find out one of them's broke one magazine because he didn't want to fucking have the weight to his fucking.
Well, it's one of those trust but verify, dude. Fuck all, like
Trust but verify, I like that.
Trust but verify, like, dude, you want to give them room to breathe, but when the situation dictates where it could potentially cause risk to someone's life, sorry, you know what I mean?
I think as well, it's like, look, it's one of those things in the infantry. Especially, you'd love to think that everyone can work at like an operator level, but they can't, and they won't. They can't, they won't.
Bro, being in Ranger Battalion, we take pride in being a very well-trained unit and special operations, blah blah blah. But dude, you have dudes that are fucked up too, right? You have dudes that have bad days. You have dudes that freaking going through a divorce with their wife or struggles. You know what I mean? There's so many things like so. Fuck all that. Like, there's human errors always in the case, right? They say Murphy's always on the manifest, right? Like, you just expect expect shit might go down and always fucking check, dot your I's and fucking cross your T's, man.
So how does it feel? How does it feel then? The kind of like the leading troops in combat, right? Obviously, there's huge consequences to making wrong decisions. Is that what it feels like being a parent?
100%. So that's exactly on those parallels, bro. I would never want to lose one of my soldiers, and thank God, I personally have not had to deal with that. But you know what I did? Like, there was things I did to make sure that if someone was going to get hurt, it's me first, because then I don't have to live through the experience of everything else. But also, years of experience, I feel like I would handle every situation better than any of my Joes, right? I call them my kids. It's like, literally, you can ask them, they say, yeah, he calls kids, right? Hey, kids, get over here. You know what I mean? And it was this thing, like, this style of, if I'm going to kick in a door, right, we've already made entry, and now the next door, I'm leading. Next door, if I can get there, I'm leading. Next one, I'm leading. And it's like, why? Fuck you, dude. Because I'd rather catch this motherfucker in my big-ass goddamn chest than any of my fucking kids would. And I feel I'm more experienced to fucking pull the trigger because I've done this more often than them. So put me first, right? And the same with my kids is like, it's leading from the front, leading by example. Like, your kid says, hey, I'm scared of the dark. Dad, there's something wrong in my room. You don't say, okay, kid, go in there real quick and I'll tell you if it's safe. No, you go, come with me. Turn on the light, look around. You're leading just like you would in a fucking room with a firefighter. You're leading, dude. You're sitting there eating with your kids. Do you serve yourself, eat real quick and say, all right, kids, whatever's left you guys got? Fuck no, dude. You serve your fucking family. You fucking sit down and eat with them. They want seconds, go ahead. There's not enough food for you. Who gives a fuck?
I want to jump on that real quick.
Go for it.
Because one of the things I noticed out here on sets is noticed that like when they get food fed out here, the directors and producers all eat first.
Yes.
And the extras eat last.
Yes.
And coming from the military, I was like,
it's hard to watch.
I was like, whoa, because don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's really they have their reasoning, but it's hard.
It's hard for me too because I don't like anyone saying go first. For me, like no, dude, you go. But then there's a time where I understand it too because you're on this filming schedule, and if you're like me, if you're one of the fucking Mayans and your scene is coming up, I kind of have to eat real quick and go back on set. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same.
It's hard though, isn't it?
It's fucking hard as bro.
When that's ingrained in you.
I had a guy come up to me and be like, "You're gonna get me fired if you don't let me start doing shit for you, bro." Because I'm like, "Hey, is there water?" He goes, "Yeah, I'll get it." I was like, "No, bro, I got it. I'll go get my water, right?" And then, "Hey, I gotta go get this. Hey, I'll get it for you." No, dude, stop, dude. I go get my shit, right? And I'm getting mad, right?
It's an unnatural act. For
natural,
us,
like to do our own thing.
Yeah.
Like I don't need no one catering for me. I got this, right? And then he's like, "Bro, this is what I do, man. You're gonna fucking," you know what I mean? I'm like, I get it, right? The whole acting thing was a completely fucking 180 in my life, and trying to figure that out because day one I look like fucking just some random ass dude, and they're like, "Hey, we need someone to move trucks." I was like, "Bro, I'll move a truck," and they're like, "Fuck, dude, you're talent. You can't touch a truck." I'm like, "Oh well, fuck, dude. I don't know. I come from we all do shit."
Just the word that you use, talent. Like someone that's working lights doesn't have a talent. They have a fucking talent doing the lights. The makeup artist has a fucking talent.
It's an uncomfortable.
You know what I mean?
It's an uncomfortable position for sure. Like I actually talk to everyone. Like I go all over. I talk to the camera guys. I talk to the lighting, and not everyone does that. And I'm not saying there's anything bad with it, but I don't know another world. I don't know any other world.
Well, it's because the
you
thing
come
is,
from a business that's a people business.
Yeah.
I mean, being in the military, you have to know the intimate details of every single person around you that can support you.
Yes.
Because without that external bubble of support, you fail on the battlefield.
Yeah.
You fail in your job, and it behooves you to know that. And
right.
and you're a writer too. You're a nosy guy and a storyteller by nature. So you always want to know what's going on around you. I'm the same way. I can't not do it. I think it's a.
But also, it's like I think all of us have a touch of ADHD. We just don't like to sit still. When we're around other people and stuff like that, we can have the thing of like because I'll do it. I won't necessarily talk to people, but I'll certainly be going around nosing around everywhere.
Yeah.
I'll certainly be sticking my nose in, even if I'm not talking to people.
Yeah.
But I think with the in defense of people who are, let's say, an actor who's come up through an acting school and stuff. Yeah. They don't know how to communicate with the guys who are the truck drivers and stuff.
Right, no, that's their culture.
Right?
Because
they've never, like for them, it would feel like stepping over a huge barrier to do that because they've been to acting school, which, let's be honest, is probably the most insulated places on the planet. Yeah. And then they've gone into Hollywood or whatever.
Well, think about this, dude. Think about this. As similar, it's funny being an actor. I see so many similarities of being in the military in the aspects of the actors. The talent is the infantry, right?
Right.
And everyone else is support elements, right?
That's cool.
But fucking, in all honesty, like the infantry needs the support of everyone to finish the mission.
Don't listen to what he's saying, people. This is lies. The enemy have got to him. He's clearly got mad. He's had half a beer. Do not listen to what he's saying.
One beer and I'm gone. No, but you know what I'm saying is like everyone has a job, right? Everyone does their thing. Like, let's be honest with ourselves here. An actor's only doing exactly what the fucking is on the paper, right? And you're definitely gonna create an expression. You're gonna make that character yours. But you do whatever the fuck the director and that writer have fucking created for you.
Yep.
You're nothing but a fucking piece of mold to do what they say.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Are they the officers?
Yeah, right. They would be right. They're the ones. They've created.
Fuck you, sir.
They've created the op order. They already have the mission planned, and all we have to do is act.
Execute.
And that's and it's so true. But you have to break it down to even further. Like, everyone plays a part in this fucking game, dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? The actor who gets the fucking Emmy or whatever the fuck, that's all based on the fucking lighting of the show, the fucking audio of the show, the writing of the show, the direction of the show. The director that gives you these notes and says, hey, that was good, but give me a little bit more of this. Yeah. Boom. There's your award, sir. Thank you very much, everyone in the fucking room who did it for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like in the Ranger battalion, we say, you don't earn your Ranger tab, right? Your Ranger buddy earns your tab for you. He's the motherfucker making sure, like, hey, get up, hey, fucking get dressed. You know what I mean? Like, your Ranger buddy earns that shit for you, so that's the guy who really earned it. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for your partner, left and right, there's no way you do this alone.
I would suspect too that. We made the comparison of the writers and directors and producers or the officer corps. The really, really good ones also know how to listen to the troops.
Yeah.
When they say, hey, did you think about this? What if we did this?
Yeah.
And there's a light that comes on like, I never thought of that.
The thing about this, there's guys that don't listen, right?
Absolutely.
There's guys that have too big of an ego that don't want to hear that aspect.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is what...
Those are the guys that will probably never be loved.
It is what it is, right? Yeah. Like... Who's to say what, both leadership styles will still complete a mission.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't mean you're not going to win the battle. Also doesn't mean you're not going to win the Oscar.
Right.
But it's a different type of leadership style.
It's funny, the same mentality I've taken is like, military, we train, dude. We train. You train to go to war, dude. And if you're an actor and you're not training to go to fucking war, bro, you're fucked already. You're wrong. If you're not physically getting yourself in shape, if you're not mentally getting yourself in shape, if you're not learning all the different aspects of acting from Meisner to different styles and techniques and finding and perfecting your craft, bro, you ain't going special ops, right? You're not going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I totally agree with you. I think with writing, it's the same.
Right.
I still read. I read other people's books.
Yeah.
Some for enjoyment, but some because if I've heard that this is a really good book, well, I need to fucking read that book. I read scripts.
Oh, dude.
I'll read people like shout out Stephen Pressfield. I like his kind of work. You know,
That's great. He's a Marine.
Yeah, he was. He's a cool guy, actually. Give me the time. Yeah.
Pressfield.
He's
love you.
He's seems to be a really cool person as well. So it makes sense for the kind of the background. But these people, you should be learning from them. And like there's some writers that I've been lucky enough to connect with on Instagram, who give me the time of day, and I ask them questions. But to tie this back in, they're the kind of questions that I can't find on Google. So the kind of questions I had for them were like, when I was putting out my book, was like, how do I deal with worrying about what my peer group will think?
Right.
About like, how do I deal with people thinking that I don't want what will happen if people think that I'm trying to capitalize off the death of my comrades by making those are the questions that I had. You can't find that on Google.
You're looking for legitimate mentorship.
Mm-hmm. Exactly,
right?
bro.
And that's beautiful, right?
Yep.
And you have to trust in the right person you ask those questions to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do the same. Like on set, I feel like I've been blessed with the best acting course in the world because I'm fucking right. I'm on the job training, right? You know what I'm saying? And so there was a scene that filmed this season, and my character was just kind of in the background doing his thing, but as the scene kicks off, it was emotional, dude, and I caught myself, no shit, legitimately tearing up, and I was like, that was brilliant, whatever the fuck he did, right? And so I took the time to actually say, hey, bro, let me tell you, that was seriously a dope scene, it fucking blew me away. What was the motivation behind it, right? Because that's where I, as an actor...
So how did he get to that place?
What did you do? Fuck, blown away. Yeah. I think I could have gotten there as well in my head, but what was his approach? Yeah. You know what I mean? And why wouldn't I want to know that and see, maybe I use that, maybe I don't. But if you're not peeling back those layers and trying to figure it out, dude, are you really trying to fucking be great at it? You know what I mean?
Well, again, it comes down to the ego thing, doesn't it? Because if you're coming in and think... Because I think what there can be the case of having is people think, I'm great, and it's just that people don't get that I'm great because they're stupid. But it's not that but it's in their heads, it's like they're already great.
Yeah.
Whereas the difference to someone like that is, it's like, I want to be great and believing it's attainable.
Yeah.
Because that's another good thing. Some people will be in the other trap where they're like, I'm not great and I never will be. Well, no, that's not true. I think everyone has
it's a huge veteran mindset, dude. A huge veteran mindset is that, all right, I'm already broken. What the fuck? I can't do nothing else. It's like, wrong, dude. You can't do anything because you put your mind to that, right? Yeah. Dude, I didn't know I could have been an actor, right? I was in the Border Patrol, and then all of a sudden Matt goes, hey, come in some videos with me on YouTube, right? And all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, this is pretty fun, and we're getting a lot of dope feedback. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of addicted to this now. I'm kind of drawn in. And then we did a movie. I was like, oh fuck. I actually told Nick Palmisano, day one, I'm like, I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. He goes, oh, I believe it.
Is that Range 15?
Range 15 when we filmed it. And the owner of Ranger Up is Nick Palmisano. And he's kind of been a business mentor of mine. And just someone I always just dump a lot of shit onto him because he's fucking good at fucking giving me, I vent to him a lot. And he goes, dude, I believe it, right? But I didn't believe for myself, dude. Then I started to believe it, and when I started to believe it, that was what fucking gave me like the opportunity. When you have to, we tend to put a lot of barriers for ourselves, right? A lot of guys like grunts, we get out and we're like, well, we can be a cop, or we can be a contractor.
Yeah.
And which is, dude, respect to both.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we've never looked outside the box for some reason, right? We like we said earlier, I'm still in that mold where I'm just what everyone else tells me I am. Like, fuck that. You want to be a painter, an artist, a writer, which is fucking, to me, is beautiful when guys are writing. I just love the art of that, But like, I put myself in a bubble myself. You know what I mean? And I was glad I was able to find my way out of it early enough where I could actually enjoy life now. You know what I mean? Because now I think there's been more therapy in my life in acting than there has been any other place.
I would think that for a lot of guys too, the transitioning vets, they all like to ride on what they did too in the military, and again, it's kind of hypocrisy because we write about it and we remember it often, but if you think that that's what's getting you where you're at now and where you're at today, you're wrong. It's got to be about what you're doing now,
right.
And it's got to be this complete meritocracy of what you're providing for yourself and what you're. Just like you when you're in the military, you're not getting promoted for what you did. No. I'm promoting you for what you're capable of, and that's how you create these successes in life. And I always hated it. Even my peers or young warriors be like, "Yeah, I'm due for promotion next month." You're not due for shit unless you're capable of stepping up to the next level. Unless you're capable of creating another great novel or another great scene or another great song, whatever it is, you have to continue to be doing that and digging deep. And I often sit around and I think to myself, well, what's next? How do I do that? And staying engaged and staying connected with other great guys that just fucking inspire me, man. To like, I'm gonna go and write till 3 a.m. now.
Yeah.
But it's like if you don't, the thing I say as well is like, people are like, oh, so you're gonna be writing? I was like, maybe in 5 years I might decide that I want to be a fucking fisherman. Yeah. I might watch Deadliest Catch one day and go, well, I'm a fucking... I might meet such a fucking psycho that I think that being in the North Atlantic is the best fucking place for me. And, but I just think, like, why limit yourself to saying,
exactly, why?
Like, that's what I'm going to be. And like, it could be many things at the same fucking...
Do it all.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck?
So I think the veteran thing as well, though, is like people forget that when you were a soldier, you didn't just... be a soldier, right? You didn't just turn up on ops. You were on the ranges.
I was a janitor.
You're on the ranges. You're on but you're on the ranges. You're out doing physical training. You're on exercise.
Everything.
So it's like when you think about it, you're actually learning more than anyone in college because you're like just constantly doing reps to get better mentally, physically, your skills, your physical aspects. That has to be the case in civilian life too. And if you're not doing that, why would you expect to advance? If you're not putting in reps, why would you expect to go forwards?
Someone asked me before, like, what would you think the civilian culture could do more to help out veterans? And my answer was like, stop helping veterans.
Stop giving them fucking parking spaces. Stop giving them parking spaces. That's the worst. Veteran parking spaces.
Well, that's the thing to me. It's like I think people have They have the bleeding heart for the situation, but they also don't realize how much they're enabling them as well, right? When you're starting to, when you start giving opportunities to guys who haven't worked for it, well, then more people are going to start to say like, hey, well, why am I not giving that opportunity? And then people get out of the military with their open hand saying, what I'm a veteran. What do you owe me? Give me a job. I deserve a job. And like there's really. The truth is, no one deserves anything. You don't fucking deserve shit. You get out of the military, you start at day one. Sorry to say, you chose that. But you have a solid resume, and if you have the same work ethics in there, you can be successful anywhere, right? I have a guy that said, hey, man, can I borrow some money? I said, no, right? No. But he goes, I can't find a job. Okay. Where have you applied? Everywhere. Walmart? No. Why not? Wow, dude, I don't want to work at Walmart. Well, then do you really want to get fucking paid, bro? Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like
that same guy emailed Vinny the next day and goes, how do I be an actor?
Actually, just
same guy.
So I figured it out.
Same motherfucker. Well, it's like, and I bitched him out. I bitched him out. I said, bro, don't ever fucking come to me with your hand out asking for something if you haven't helped yourself first. Like, fuck off, dude. Like, that's the biggest slap in our face, any of our faces. Bro, I'm not this millionaire that people, dude, I don't trust me, bro. with 6 kids, I'm never getting ahead of that one, bro.
You're an author. You get rich writing books. Tell everybody.
Fuck.
You guys are both. You guys are both New York Times bestsellers.
You're a best-selling author.
You guys
You're
are
rich.
both best-selling
The
authors.
first book deal I got, I could have got that in like 10 days of contracting. Like it's nuts. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can make good money writing, and I'm able to do it. I'm able to write full time, which is fucking rare. Yeah. And like to be able to write full time, just if we're in a beautiful house right now, right?
Yeah.
If I never have a house like this, I'll be happy enough.
Yeah.
But I love a house like this.
Yeah.
But you know, to be able to do what I love full time is awesome. But look, I still can't fully just write what I want. I still have to take on ghostwriting jobs and stuff, you know, because
you still get the rando that comes in and says, "Hey, so how's that writing thing going for you?"
Oh yeah,
like it's a fucking hobby. You know, you mean my job?
Oh no, the best one is, oh, you should write a book about me. Oh really, really? Look, now everyone has.
That's the guy that emailed Vinny on how to be an actor.
Everyone has a story, and that's fantastic.
Same guy.
But like someone at the gym said this to me. They literally said like. They were like, oh, well, you should do the book about me. I'm thinking like, one, I know about you, and I know you don't have like, you're probably 456 millionth down the list of people that I know who's interested in, right? And I'm like, I'll just drop all my fucking shit, shall I? All the projects, like I got screen projects going on, I got fucking several different books going on. Oh, I'll just drop that to write about you, shall I? You fucking cunt. But it's one of those jobs where I think people know, if you say like, oh, I'm a hedge fund manager or whatever, people are like, oh, they have like an idea about that.
Well,
but like, it's actually, hang on, I'm on one now.
Yeah,
when I came into this country once, and the immigration guy was like, what do you do for a job? I'm like, oh, I'm an author. And he goes, how'd you support yourself? I'm like, I'm an author. He goes, yeah, but what else do you do? I was like, I'm an author. I had a book at number 3 in New York Times on the fucking. And I said that to him. I was like, sir, I said, we can go to the gift shop right now. I'll show you like the Hudson News. And he's like, how'd you make enough money to support yourself? From my books, from fucking working out of my books, you fuck. And then he's like, oh, so how are you taking 3 months off now? Do you not have a job? I was like, yeah, I have a job. I'm taking 3 months off. He goes, I don't know anyone who can take 3 months off. Oh, well, that's your fucking problem, mate. Not mine. Like, fuck. Dude, I'm gonna have to lie down.
No, how do you really feel about it?
I get into an Uber driver, right? Get into an Uber, and they're always like, so what do you do for a living? I say, I'm an actor. They're like, oh, cool. What restaurant do you work at? Oh. He's like, what? But I was like, dude, I get it, right? Because there's a lot of struggling actors in LA, dude. And they're
look, here's an
What'd you say when we were on our show? You said, what's an overnight sensation? How long does it take?
Yeah, it takes 10 years to be an overnight sensation.
Yeah, that's a great one. All right, here's one, though. Because obviously, I fucking really support the idea that people go after their dreams, right?
Yes.
And there's a lot of people in
but you talk to people on trains too, randomly passing.
You tell
by,
me you love them. That's weird.
I'm waiting to see where this goes.
Okay, but that is like, let's be honest, right? Let's be honest. There are some occasions when people are chasing a dream, which I don't want to say never going to happen, but like realistically, like let's say now, let's say right now, I was like, guys, I am going to play defensive end for the not San Diego, fucking bastards, Los Angeles Chargers. I'm going to play defensive end. You might need to take me aside and have a little word.
That's an uncomfortable conversation, and there's someone in their life has to be so honest with them. But no, that happens a lot. There's a lot of guys, man, that's everywhere, right? Singers. Right, people that say I want to be a singer, and you're like, like William Hong, you know what I mean, the guy from fucking,
Bang.
Yeah, she bang, you know what I mean, like. There's people that have to be honest with those people, but there's people that just don't give up that dream, and you feel bad, bro. But you feel bad. Like acting is a big one like that. I think acting is huge, and you have a lot of guys that spend a lot of their life trying, whether they have the talent or not. For some reason, it doesn't work out, and it's like fucking years and years of being an actor and struggling, and that's fucking hard to watch, dude. Because I give myself an exit plan, dude. 5 years. It's been 2. 5 years. So I got 3 more years to make this shit fucking really pop. If it doesn't, I'm on to something else, dude. Straight up. I can't sit here.
We're just smuggling.
I'm going to flip on the other side of the fence. You know what I mean? But the thing is like, I'm super fucking motivated in anything I focus on. Well, I'm giving myself 5 years to fucking make it happen. If it doesn't happen, well, maybe it's not for me. But I don't want to fucking sacrifice all that time with my family for this dream that might happen, this potential happen.
I think if you surround yourself with the right people that support your dream, and if you said you wanted to be a defensive end for the Los Angeles Dodgers, I'd say that's unattainable. It's their baseball team.
I said Chargers.
Okay, all right, you correct yourself. But that's a great question too to ask Nate, because same people said the same thing to Nate.
Well, then Nate was
Boyer.
33.
Yeah, he was, said he couldn't do it. But if you applied yourself in the right way,
but Nate,
you could do it. And who's the guy that Mark Wahlberg played? The Vinny for the...
Oh, yeah.
For
the movie Invincible.
Invincible, yeah. I mean...
But you got to think of it this way.
Rare, but it could happen.
He had a foundation. Look at freaking Nate. He has the foundation. You can't, like, if Nate was 450 pounds, it was never gonna happen,
in good
bro.
Shape.
Nate, no, I know you're in great shape, but the point is
you
like,
look marvelous.
There's several things that have to be there before you could even fucking make it attainable, right? There's some people that are the 400-pound guy saying he wants to do it, and you're like,
Are you a dream crusher?
Look, some people,
I
would be. Dude, if you,
do you think some people are like...
I crush my kids' dreams daily.
Do you think everyone's born with a talent?
I think whether it's learned or born with, I think there's something.
I think like one of the things I was worried about with writing was, do you guys have the X Factor out here?
Yeah.
So I call it the X Factor, right? Which is they go up and they're like, my name's Kimmy, and my family all tell me that I'm fucking great. And she'll go up and be like, oh, fuck yeah. And then she'll be like, I can't believe they didn't send us through.
That's the William Hong, bro.
Right, yeah. So that to me was, I was always like, oh. And that's why Gareth, whose studio we're recording in, he was one of the first people I showed it to because he's successful in the arts.
Yeah.
And I thought he'll give me straight.
Yeah. Well, dude, that's what I'm with my kids.
Well, you should. I think
and
you should.
My daughter tries to sing, and I say, Mama, if you want to do singing for real, let's get lessons. Yeah. She goes, what do you mean? You think I can't? I was like, well, no, you're not good. Like,
we can get better.
There's potential there, but you're not good. Like, you want me to say you're great and go embarrass your fucking self? That's on you. I'll be Pops all day long and tell you the truth. Like, you need work. But I say that with everything wrestling. Yeah. You need work. You know
we all do. You need work on your acting. Exactly. I need work on my writing. You need work on your writing. We all need work on our skills. Yeah. We all do. Like,
sure.
to say, fucking hell, to say that we're capped out now, if that was the case, if we were capped out, well...
Where's my money?
But also, no, where's the challenge? Where's the enjoyment?
Yeah, no,
none of us joined the military because we didn't want a challenge, right?
Oh,
and this is one of the things that does piss me off for veterans sometimes. They're like, oh, boo-hoo-hoo, boo-hoo-hoo. I'm like, well, look, if you didn't want a challenge, why did you join the fucking military?
Let me ask you something. What's your challenge right now? Yours, personally.
My challenge right now, I think, is to make the step into being able to write what I want exclusively, and also to have a big enough base that I don't rely on publishers. Mm-hmm. That'd be mine.
How about yours?
This is the great thing about getting three guys to do podcasting together, that we always wind up interviewing each other. It's great. It's a great question.
It is a great question.
I think continuing to challenge myself to go past what I know.
Yeah.
To really do something different, and I think I'm.
Is there a goal somewhere? Like, is there this attainable thing that in your head already? Well, whether it's in writing.
No, absolutely. I mean, I totally transitioned. Not trained in it. Don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I wrote a treatment for a full-length feature documentary, Beautiful. And I'm working with Anthony Zucker, who created CSI. Right. And did I ever think I'd be doing that? No. But I surround myself with smart people, and. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea if we'll raise enough money to start filming where we want to film and get the people on board. But we've got a great team around us. So that's a great question, though.
Yeah, no, that's
my. I guess that's my sphere. Yeah.
I'm in the acting space now, but I also pride myself in trying to produce and direct. I would love to start jumping into the directing world of some TV shows. I'm really working those networks right now and trying to get the opportunity to do that. I think directing is so it's the same parallel in leadership and everything. It's delegating and it's knowing how to talk to people and just understanding the room. Here's the mission, let's complete the mission kind of concept. So I feel real comfortable in that space. But like in everything I've ever done, I've imagined myself receiving an award, right? Like I imagine my kids being proud of dad receiving an award from basic training to fucking airborne to Rangers. It's this vision of my kids sitting in the stands, watching me cross a platform of some sort, receiving an award, and everyone being proud, right? This is what drives me. I haven't had that happen really, and I'm trying to make that happen in acting.
What about when you got your Ranger?
I was there alone.
Well, were you?
He just by the way, he just totally jumped the tracks on that and like brought his kids into it, made us feel like selfish scumbags by talking about professional goals.
I don't have kids.
But this is something that I I visualize my shit for a reason because, like, okay, now I have to chase, right? And I say, like, do you have that goal? For me, I have to create this difficult, attainable fucking option to have something to chase, right? This fuck, am I working towards that or not? You know what I mean? Like, what you're doing is dope, and that's where, like, I want to say...
No, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant but by bringing that emotional part into it. But a great senior parent said, your kids won't tell you they're proud of you right now at this stage. Yeah. It's planted in their seeds. They're seeing all this thing. And one day that'll happen. It'll like when they're in college, will come back and
I feel like it happened to me only in my 30s, really, when I realised how hard working and stuff was. Because I'd say in the last 5 years, I've never been not proud of my parents, but like mine has just gone through the roof in the last 5 years when I realised how hard there is to manage money, how hard there is to put a roof over people's heads, how hard there is to go to work every day,
and how well they did it without complaining.
Yeah, well, yeah. But it's only when you have a body of evidence behind your own life that I see that now. Because what I didn't realise is I used to think when you got older, something changed in your mind and you became an adult. What I realise now is that I'm still 15 years old. I'm just in a 35-year-old body with bad knees, and that like everyone's kind of in that. And I just used to think that it's almost like you got reissued a new personality, and to an extent you do, but everyone's trying to figure shit out. It's like I used to think just like, oh, my parents just know everything because they're parents. Yeah. Well, that's not the case.
No, it's his experience.
It's like, oh, well, mum and dad just go. Those are their jobs. They go to work, like. And now I'm like, well, fuck, they both had their own businesses. Of course they would have been, all the stress that comes with that. Yeah. You know, they weren't just going in, clocking out like I thought they were.
I really like that you said that, though, is working towards an end where you want to make your kids proud. I think that's really respectable. Despite the fact we spent a good portion of the show talking about how much perspective kids don't have because they're so young. But when they do hit that age, I think they're going to do that. And I think that's why it's important, too, in any profession where you have colleagues or you have veterans or whatever, is that we support each other. And I've said this to you, and I've said it to tons of guys that we all know, that I'm proud of you, man. Like, when I see him blowing up and doing something great, I support that, man, because I understand the work that you put into that and the sacrifice you make to do that. And, you know, if someone's not telling you they're proud of you now, I mean, I'll be the first to jump in and do it, just not to make, any statement, but people need to hear that.
No, for sure.
We're hesitant to do that.
We are, dude. It's funny.
I don't know why. Why is it so hard to say that?
It's a weird thing for us is that, some of us are out there helping everyone else, and you forget that, you yourself still need that too, right? Mm-hmm. You need that appreciation from someone else to say. I guess I'm always kind of looking over my shoulder waiting for it, you know what I mean? Because I need it, but then I don't want to ask for it, you know what I mean? And we all need that, right? We all need someone to be like, reassuring your dream is good and you're doing good. You're just doing good. You know what I mean? And so when someone out of nowhere says it to me, it's like you get these messages and you're just like, fuck, bro, I really appreciate that, right? Because it's like some random ass motherfucker, right? The people that are next to me and closest to me aren't saying it sometimes. I think because it's just such a comfortable space and no one.
And they're doing the same things too. The
we're all grinding,
level.
Right? We're all moving. We're all doing. And then one random ass fucking person who just likes my pictures randomly says, dude, I'm super proud of you.
Dude, they choke me up sometimes with messages.
Yeah, bro.
Jez, your challenge is to go to Mel's tomorrow morning for breakfast and tell them that you're proud of them.
Done.
We need you to go back on
because it doesn't just apply to writers and actors and entertainers. It's
I'll be like, but wait a minute, how long have you been trying to be an actor? Because I may also need to break some bad news to you.
No, that's Vinny Dream Crusher Vargas' job. It's not too late to change your nickname.
You just got to tell them like it is.
That could be a whole pod for you, man.
Man.
The Dream Crusher.
Hey,
the Dream Crusher by Vinny Vargas.
Hey, how you doing, Johnny? Your mom told us that you want to be a singer. Well, I'm here to tell you fucking suck.
More of that, you're not even a real son.
Yeah. You're adopted. Oh my god!
Double Dream Crusher,
hilarious.
I think that's the bottom of the barrel now. Should we wrap this up?
Yeah,
that's great.
Take it home. Right. Well, first thing, let's go around the table. Scott, start with you. If you want to tell people where they can find your charity and where they can find you personally, not a actual grid. You don't have to give a grid, but just like a handle.
Yeah, you could SaveTheBrave.org, and you can find me on Instagram at Echo In Ramadi. And hey, thanks, Vinny, for letting me hop in on this and doing doubleheader. And
man, I'm glad. As soon as you guys recognized each other, I was thinking Devil's Threesome.
It's nuts, man. These circles overlap. And last time we had Vinny on our show, he promised me he was going to give me an invite to a sweat lodge. So now I have to thank our host.
Let's do it.
Because we're like sweating through our shirts here because he
I
turned out
gotta say,
AC.
I actually had someone. I'm wearing a Black Rifle Coffee right now. I had someone at the airport come over, and he's like, "Oh, you one of the owners of Black Rifle Coffee?" I should have said to him. I should have said like, "Yeah, I'm my best, and I love children."
No, but thanks, and let's keep sharing the love, man.
No, for sure.
No, it's the best thing about this space. We were saying earlier about the books. I was really lucky when my book came out. Like Brian Wood, Tom Marcus, Major Adam Jowett, and then a bunch of other people in that space just came on and just sharing the book and just giving blurbs for the book, cover quotes and stuff. And it wasn't like, it was just everyone. We were talking earlier, like books and TV. Yeah. These are consumable things, and the more, not just veterans, just people in general, support each other's work. Yeah. The more your work will benefit. Like anyone out there, whatever you're doing right now in your work, if you support other people, if you're trying to be a soccer player, if you're a young kid and you want to make a soccer player, the more you help other people in your skills, the more other people are going to help you. Like people will notice it, and I think, I don't know if you want to call it God, the universe, or whatever, but like these things do, these things come back to you.
For sure.
So Vinny, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram. It's vincent.rocco.vargas. You can check out my podcast anywhere. It's the Vinny Roc Podcast, VINNYP podcast. All right, so that's it, man.
What about Mayans?
Yeah, Mayans MC. Season 2 starts September 3rd. Right now they just put Mayans MC Season 1 on Hulu, so if you haven't checked that out yet, go check it out there. You could also find it on Amazon Prime. Man, check it out and hit me up. I answer all my messages, and let's talk, man.
Sweet. You can find me at Mel's Diner. I'm at GRJ Books. Guys, check out vsonpodcast.com. Got some merchandise coming soon. Hopefully that won't be too far away by the time we stick this podcast out. Anything else going on there? British Veterans, Royal British Legion, rbl.org. If you need bit of help adjusting to civilian life, if you need help setting up a business, they got loads of stuff going on there. Instead of me fucking yapping on about it, why don't you go and fucking Google it? See what I did there, guys? Brought it back. Right, thanks, guys. Love you all. Cheers. Goodbye. Good night.